What is this? A yo-yo for ants who desire to get into competitive yo-yoing? Dad jokes. All right, hey, today we're going to be looking at the newest Toonie from Rain City Skills Micro Yo-Yo. That's right, the smallest yo-yo I've ever reviewed on this channel. I think. Somebody fact check me. Anyways, this is the Toonie. I was fact checked, by the way, on the Pomelo. That was not the largest yo-yo I ever reviewed a couple of yo-yos ago. It was the Retic Python that was actually the largest one ever I've reviewed by a couple millimeters. Anyways, I believe, now my memory has apparently gotten a little bit, jumbled with so many reviews over the years, that this is the smallest yo-yo that I have ever reviewed. Maybe, I don't know, was the Looney smaller? See, now I'm second guessing myself. Anyways, but this is the bimetal version of the Looney, which I did review. That was a brass micro yo-yo. This is a bimetal yo-yo, so it's aluminum and stainless steel. First off, packaging. Rain City Skills always does some really rad packaging. It comes in a little change purse. I believe that's what the Looney came in as well, if I remember right. Pretty much the same one. So it comes right in there, nice little pocket there. And it had some stickers, other things that aren't in here currently, but there's a couple things I want to pull out because they're fun. I've talked about these before, the little Lego little caps here that you can put on any of their Lego ready yo-yos. And so these pop right in there and you can go ahead and do awesome finger spins. And then it did come with this, and I wanted to just kind of show you as a comparison. This is just kind of a fun little fake coin, little toy coin, but this is the Toonie. So for you Americans, I'm talking to myself as well here, maybe who've never been to Canada, this is what's called a Toonie. It's a $2 coin, basically, and it has silver and is it copper? I don't remember. Anyways, this copper, I think it's copper in the center. Normally this is plastic. I could try to spend it, but those Canadians, some of them are pretty smart. So that's kind of modeled after this, right? Now it comes in a couple different variances of the different color rims you can get. It has, I think there's black anodized ones, and then that rainbow anodization as well. So I like this one though because it looks much more like the actual Toonie, and that was the objective. But yeah. Now I would say this is, I think it might be the most expensive yo-yo in their catalog. So it is high end. I'm not sure how many were produced. That probably had a lot to do with the price point factor. But, keep that in mind. But there's other thing that I would mention too, is that I think every yo-yoer who has a decent collection needs to invest in a fun and a good micro yo-yo. If anything else, it's just fun and kind of just very, very different to pick up a micro yo-yo. If you've never picked up a good one, this is my justification for that, right? And so there's, I don't know, are there any other bimetal micro yo-yos that are readily available, or any at all? I can't honestly think of any. I am not well versed in the micro yo-yo. That's not necessarily the yo-yos I typically buy. I don't have a whole collection of them. There probably are some people who watch my channel who do collect more of those novelty yo-yos, kind of fun yo-yos, so this would be up there. So if you collect micro yo-yos, you're definitely going to want this one and add it to your collection. But let's talk about the construction of it. Like I said, aluminum, stainless steel rims, aluminum body, stainless steel rims, and A-size bearing. It's a concave A-size bearing, which is the only way to go with this. And I don't even know if you would, I can see myself in the rims. Ooh, so nice. I don't know what shape you would call this. I guess you would consider it an organic. It does have a bit of a high wall, but there's just so small of a gap. I don't even know if you would consider that such a high wall, but there you go. So shiny, right? So shiny. Lots of metal there for the rims. Yeah, lots of, covers over half of the actual yo-yo because it's so small. I talked about those hubs there too for the Lego hubs, so you can put the caps on there for finger spinning, which covers like the entire pocket there, by the way, which I found a little bit of a challenge to kind of pop back out. You kind of have to tilt it and maybe get something in there like to pry it. Obviously nothing, you know, that will scratch the yo-yo, but something thin that'll pry it out. That worked fine. It just took a little bit of effort. But anyways, yeah, like it's going to be really fun to finger spin with this little micro yo-yo. You could put any other Legos there too, just to kind of customize it. Of course, that's going to add some weight. Weight on this is pretty decent. One thing that I think I would wish, just preference-wise, and I'll talk about this maybe with playing it, but spoiler alert, that I think it would be beneficial if it was just a little bit lighter. I'm not sure in their prototyping how much they got to prototype it at all, but I'm not sure if maybe they tried that and it kind of just put, I don't know, you wanted that, because it is micro, okay? So I'm sure there's some design work in there that needs to be done so that it has to hit that sweet spot where it's not going to feel like a clunk, right? Brick-like, because it is so small. And you want enough weight that it's actually going to spin for a decent amount of time, especially if you're trying to make it, you know, what's the point of making a bimetal yo-yo if it's not really going to be somewhat performance-driven, even if it's micro, right? So that hopefully is going to, the extra weight that I might think, personally, preference-wise, maybe, I don't know, maybe if they do another run of this, substantially, I would maybe say, hey, take off a gram, see what that feels like. I'd be curious. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think maybe taking a little bit of weight off the body and make sure that, again, weight's on the rims with the stainless steel there. I think that'd be interesting to feel. I don't think, again, spoiler, I don't think that it was sluggish on the string or much of a thunk. Actually, it played pretty well. It plays pretty well. Anyways, that's I think all that we're going to talk about that in the hand section, because look at that. I can just in the hand. My goodness, right? All right, let's go play it. Hey, so welcome back. I went ahead and strung it up with the Lego caps here. I told you, look how much space it takes up. It's all the way to the edges there. So, you know, you have those in the pocket that it came with, and so if you want to put those on, or you want to decorate it with other Lego pieces, you could do that. But that's going to be really nice for finger spins and just a heck of a lot of fun. So, honestly, I might kind of keep them on there. It does add some weight. I don't know, a gram or two maybe. But because, I don't know, they're pretty solid too. I don't really feel like it's causing any vibe really. Maybe a tiny, tiny, tiny bit. But nothing noticeable really on the string. That's so fun. Seriously, I might just keep these on here after this review and just kind of keep them on there and just have them to make sure I remember that, how fun that is. As I said, those are really tight, so I got to get something here to kind of get under that to pry it off. You can kind of wiggle it back and forth. Maybe if I wiggled it, if I had longer nails, I'm sure that would work. Oh, that worked. Okay, I popped off one with my nail. Okay, you know, I kind of was, you know, talking about the weight a little bit, and you know, and saying, you know, I would wonder what it would feel like with a gram less. Now, I think I'd still like to see that, and how much that would, you know, sort of take away from maybe some spin times and so on. But I would say that it has some really decent spin times for what it is, and that bimetal design really works well for what, you know, when you're looking at bimetal yo-yos, generally you kind of think, okay, that's going to add stability, that's going to add maybe even some spin times because you're putting more weight to the rims and so on. I can feel that with this yo-yo. I am not feeling like I'm reaching for that as far as you know, kind of readjusting the plane and so on, that it's really stable for a micro yo-yo. I mean, it's not going to be as stable as your full-size, oversized yo-yos that are bimetal as well. It's just it's apples and oranges, right? But I think as far as in its class, this is probably the most capable micro yo-yo that I've personally played. I mentioned in the hand section too that, you know, every yo-yoer who has a decent collection and you have a variety of different types of yo-yos and shapes and so on, and materials and all that, that you if you don't own a micro yo-yo, you should, because it's just a heck of a lot of fun to pick up a micro yo-yo, and the challenge that it has, that even kind of you know, trickles down into whenever you pick up a full-size yo-yo that has a wide, huge gap. and a large diameter or what have you, or even normal diameter, it's going to be beneficial too. So if you're kind of training yourself to hit, I don't know, something like black hops. Let's see if I can do black hops with this yo-yo first off. It's so much harder than I thought it was gonna be. Anyways, like imagine doing that, like getting super consistent with that and then picking up a standard size yo-yo, like how much better at a trick like that you would be. Let's finish talking about the Toonie. One thing I would recommend too, and I'm pretty sure Rain City has recommended this as well, is string choice. Should probably be something in the thinner string, just because of the gap in the A-size bearing and all these other things. I would not gravitate towards your thickest possible string. You may have some problems actually fitting all the string in the gap. I'm using my Prestige string, which isn't the thickest string in the world, but it's also not the thinnest. I could probably deal with some thinner string as well, but this is working just fine. And it still has really snappy binds as well. So I'm not feeling like I have to like have a conservative type bind like that, you know, where it's just like very deliberate and making sure that it's always going to come back to my hand. And I think, again, if you're looking for a macro yo-yo that's going to perform as best, I think, as macro yo-yos possibly can, I think this might be right up your alley with the Toonie. So fun yo-yo. Rain City Skills, of course, they put out a lot of just kind of fun yo-yos that sometimes no one else will put out either. So I think I appreciate that about them more than anything. So good job on the Toonie. Definitely check it out. Release date here's coming up on the 18th. So on Rain City Skills, probably a few other places as well. All right, that's going to do it for my review of the Toonie by Rain City Skills. Until the next one, later.